Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the TexasSpaceNavy bringing you another Star Citizen video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the Mask of Vara, this Halloween contest, challenge, whatever you want to call it. There's two of them going around. One of them's the Big Benny Hinge, which I posted on how to do earlier, I guess, 2 weeks ago nearly. And then the other one is the 50 Unique Kills Challenge, which I have also shown a couple of videos of, one of the ways to do it. Now, again, some people are going to hate that. Some people are going to love it. I can tell you anybody that's participated in it, I'd say 99% absolutely have had a blast doing it. Let me tell you, too, what today's video is really about, and that is about what you should do if you're attempting to do this particular challenge. If you don't know what the challenge is, you can get a Vanduul Mask, like a helmet. It looks like a Vandal, a scowling Vandal, that you can wear in the verse if you are able to get 50 unique player character kills in a Glaive or Gladius in the month of October. That's right, 50 unique. That means you can't kill the same person twice. You got to kill somebody different each time, and it can't be AI. It's got to be an actual player character. So some brilliant minds devised a way to make this happen. To park a few Cutlass Reds around, to get a group of people together, take a Gladius or a Glaive out, and pretty much have them all stand in a row in front of it and get shot, then respawn on the Cutty Reds. So let me tell you how, if you're going to participate in one of these, what decorum or what you should do to best be prepared for them. Because I just got out of one of the events, and I think it just was enough to get my 50th kill. That it was a little bit chaotic. There was some new folks in, and they didn't exactly know what was going on, so it probably took twice as long as it should have. And, if you're like me, you don't have a whole lot of time to do these things. You want to get them knocked out and move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. And it can be very well done. It can be, pretty much one after the next after the next. It can be done like clockwork if you follow a few guidelines. So that's what I'm doing this video about, is to try to help you with some of those guidelines. So first and foremost, it helps if you have comms, if you have a microphone, so that you can communicate. Now, that is not a number one necessity. You don't have to have that, but it certainly helps. The next thing is, I would actually go over to the Discord that's dedicated to all this, and I'll put that in the description down below for this video. But I would go over there and log in, and they're going to have several different chat channels set up. And when you see people start to fill in one of those groups, you can jump in one of those groups in the comms, and you can become part of those groups. Now, when you become a part of that group that's going to go out, you need to have a couple of things prepared, okay? First of all, you need to be at Levski. Make your character's spawn point Levski, then get back out into the menus before you ever go into the group. That just speeds things up a little bit. If you have to do a character reset, get back to Levski, then log out into the main menu, then get into a group. Don't get into the group and be like, oh man, I've got to fly all the way from Microtech or ArtCorp. Problems do happen, and it does happen that some people are delayed. I spawned in the sun once, so it does happen. But to make it run smoother and quicker, be at Levski makes it a lot easier for everybody to get together and get out to where you need to go to get these kills. The next thing, if you have a Cutty Red and your party needs one, you're going to want to mark your name at the end of it in brackets or parentheses, red, designating that you are willing to provide a Cutlass Red to the group. Before your name, you need to put the letter A. So it'll be A space and then your name. Because A designates you have not gone through the line yet. You haven't shot everybody in the line yet. Okay? That's just something to get set up with, some pre-game decorum, I guess you could say. Once you do go in there, there is going to be somebody that's going to lead the group, and they're usually going to be marked with like ADD or something along those lines. That's the person everybody is going to send a friend request to, and he will send out party, or he or she will send out party invites to all the people that are joining that Discord channel. So once that's done, he will go in and it'll bring everybody into the server as well. And then from Levski, you're going to go towards the sunny side of Levski, which some people go to OM5 because they can get away from possible people tracking them. I'm not going to tell you where to go. You could go to the dark side. I've done that. It's definitely much easier to hide from would-be scalpers, I guess you could say. But I recommend going to the sunny side. It's just easier to see all the boulders and everything else. So you'll have your Cutlass Reds there. You'll have your Gladius. I would recommend more than one Gladius in case something happens to the first one. You definitely want 2 or 3 Cutlasses, 2 at the least. And then what you'll do is you'll land the Gladius somewhere safe, not where it's shooting the Cutlasses, and somewhat flat so that it's shooting people rather than shooting over their heads or into the ground. Cut off the engines of the Gladius. Yeah, just cut them off. Don't power the whole thing off, just cut the engines off. That way you're not moving about. Now, I will give you a heads up. Sometimes the Gladius will start kind of walking or rotating around clockwise in its position. So just be mindful that that could happen, and you may have to, get back in it and move it back to an original location. But once the Gladius has its engines off, then you're going to go down the list in Discord in alphabetical order. Now don't worry, most of the groups are really cool. There's even people that have had their masks for, since the beginning that are still coming in and helping people get theirs. So most everybody's going to stay until the end of that little event that you're doing with that whole Discord channel. It's kind of an honor system, and most people are really good about honoring it. So that's the way I would treat it, is that they're going to honor it. And again, some people may skip out. You can't control that. But I would say 99% of the people that I've seen in there have honored the, the rules there, so to speak, where they stay in until the end. So then you'll start shooting people. So the first person in the list will go first, and they will shoot. Now, I recommend only shooting 4 or 5 people, letting them respawn, and then shooting the next 4 or 5 people, and so on and so forth. The reason why you don't want to just hold the trigger down and mow down the entire lot is because it's going to end up giving some people some black screens, and sometimes even screw up the server altogether or screw up their particular part in the event. You don't want to do that. That's not fun. You don't want somebody doing that to you. So don't overflow the respawn server, so to speak. Just kill 4 or 5 people, give it a few moments, 30 seconds, kill 4 or 5 more people. You'll get through the whole entire line before you know it. It won't take as long as you think it is. It's super, super satisfying. It's a lot of fun mowing the people down. You're going to enjoy it, and it's going to be over with before you prefer. You'd like to stay in the cockpit a little longer and keep shooting people, but sadly you have to move on to the next person. So the next person will get in, and the same thing. You'll just rinse and repeat until it's all over with. Now, what I also recommend, because sometimes these things will last an hour, 2 hours, depending on how organized they are. I'm trying to teach you how to make it organized. Do not fist fight other people. Do not shoot other people. Do not dogfight other people unless it's somebody coming to ransack your event that wasn't invited. Just get in line. Get in line, wait your turn to get shot, wait your turn to get in the Gladius or the Glaive to do your shooting. Just stay in line. Just be orderly about it. Be adults about it. I know sometimes it can be tedious standing around, but you can have fantastic conversations with these people. You can really get to know them. You can have a lot of laughs even by just standing in line. So that's what I would recommend. You'll get through the lines much quicker. I think the fastest I've seen one of these events is like 30 minutes, 45 minutes maybe. That's pretty good for having 15 to 25, 30 people. Going through one of those lines, that's really good. There's no reason why it can't be orderly and organized. Now, orgs that host these things are usually much more organized. People are much more interested in following directions than possibly on this simple Discord. But I would advise you, if you're going to be on that Discord, just follow the directions. Just follow. If you're leading it, lead. You know, tell everybody the expectations ahead of time. Say, hey, we're going to try to do this as quick as possible, which means we need to do A, B, and C. We need to do it this way, this way, this way. You know, please follow the instructions, and we'll all get through it as quick as we can and move on to the next group. That's what I would advise doing. So, yeah, definitely know what you're getting into before you get into it. It helps out. Definitely be at Levski to start out. That will help out a ton. And be smart about, you know, how many ships you're bringing. If it only requires 3 Cutlass Reds and a couple of Gladiuses, you don't need to bring your Carrack. You don't need to bring your Hornet. You don't need to bring your Freelancer. Just jump on one of the Cutlass Reds, hitch a ride, and get over there. Because, as you can see here, somebody is doing takedowns, and it really disturbed the entire event. Because if you spawn a bunch of ships and bring them out, you're going to have a much higher likeliness or chance of the server crashing. So a lot of these things that I'm telling you to do is to keep crashes from happening, to keep from ruining somebody else's experience. Said if you're doing these takedowns and stuff while everybody else is trying to get their kills or trying to organize, you're distracting away from what everybody's there for. And it's just adding a bunch of time that nobody wants to add on to their experience. They're in there to try to get their mask. They want to get their kills. They want to help other people get their kills, and then they want to move on to the next one and get more kills. That's the way they want it to be. So definitely, you know, treat people how you want to be treated. That's the golden rule, right? I'd say treat people better than what you want to be treated. You know, be kind, be orderly, and help each other out the best you possibly can. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching my video. I hope this helped you, especially if you're going into this Discord to do this event so that you can get your 50 kills. Try to be as orderly, as patient, as cool to your fellow man as you possibly can. Don't be doing the takedowns. Don't be shooting the people. You know, be ready at Levski. Just, you know, those are the simplest things you can possibly do, and it'll make it go by much quicker and more efficiently. Thank you again for watching my videos. If you want to become a Patreon or YouTube member, that information is going to be down below in the description of the video. You can also join my org, Texas. That information will be down below as well. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.